Now, Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary are yet to stand trial in South Africa. The pair fled the country for Malawi after bail was granted. The Justice Department is waiting for Malawian courts to decide if witnesses from South Africa can testify via videolink. eNCA reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones is following that story and joins us now for more. Good evening, Pule. Does the South African government really think the Bushiris could still be extradited?
Well, good afternoon, Mfundo, and there's still a bit of, uncertainty as to when the date for the court case in Malawi at the High Court will be, revealed in terms of that case having to decide whether witnesses who have to testify coming from South Africa to Malawi will then have to do it virtually or in person. As it is right now, the South African government is at limbo, saying that they cannot do anything right now until that court outcome. And as it is right now, we've also been notified that they've done everything in their power to ensure that they submit the proper extradition papers to ensure that the couple can be extradited and that they comply with the SADC protocol. You remember just previously, the, of course, state prosecutor in the magistrate court in Malawi argued that the witnesses didn't have to come to Malawi. In fact, they could have done it virtually using a platform. And this is one of the arguments that was strongly emphasized and tabled by the state prosecutor in Malawi. Now, what we do understand is that Bushiri's legal counsel has been fighting tooth and nail to ensure that the couple isn't extraditing, taking numerous preliminary applications on review. One of them, which they were saying that the South African witnesses have to come to court to sign the deposition documents and, of course, other papers that they believe would correspond to some of the transcripts that they had received from the South African court cases that are taking place against the couple. But we spoke to the Justice Department earlier on today, and they gave us this response regarding the matter.
Some of the witnesses that they required to be produced needed to testify in person. And this was challenged, I must stress, by the prosecuting authority of Malawi, because they actually emphasized that that is not how extradition law actually works. And that's equally our understanding on the South African side. And that is where we are currently. We are waiting for the outcome of that challenge. Once that outcome has been once the outcome has been properly adjudicated by the courts, we'll know what is the next step.
Now, Pule, most certainly a very complex case, but we understand you also spoke to a legal analyst. What did he have to say about this matter?
Well, what he had to say about this matter, he actually was quite, clear and open by the idea that this case does require the, participation of some of these key witnesses, and furthermore saying that if the High Court in Malawi were to rule that the witnesses have to come to the country and the witnesses refuse, then it will be a very bad challenge for the South African government in terms of going back to the table and coming up with an amicable solution as to how they can have the couple extradited. Now, I tell you what, I've been speaking and tracking to some of the witnesses since around 2020, latest being last year in November, and they have made it quite clear that they will not be, risking, and I quote what they said, their lives, and of course citing things such as intimidation if they were to go to the Malawian courts as well. And they want to make sure that, if that happens, then their lives are protected, and that's the clarity they're still seeking. But we spoke to a legal analyst who gave us an overview of what we can expect if this does not go in accordance as the South African government is expecting it to go.
The witnesses need to go to Malawi and actually go and give their evidence. If the witnesses don't travel to go and give their evidence, then we as the South African government will have a big problem, because then that application for their extradition might just fail. Because the witnesses is key, because as the court already said, they want the witnesses to come and see if there's grounds for these guys' extradition. And obviously we're banking on these witnesses to actually convince the court that there is a case that the Bushiri couple needs to come and answer to in South Africa.
Now, it would certainly be very interesting, Pule, to see if, in fact, the witnesses decide to go to Malawi, given the whole issue that we're seized with here, where we've seen a lot of witnesses themselves losing their lives on home soil. So it would be quite difficult for anybody to even risk it in another country, but it remains to be seen. But thank you very much. That's eNCA reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones on that story for us.